Get everything you need for your next job without the hassle at AquaBluMosaics.com. We carry everything from high-quality pool tile, porcelain pavers, grout, fire and water features, and everything in between that you need to get your project done and put some money in your pocket. A literal showroom in the palm of your hand, we are the most powerful tool any pool contractor can have in their pocket. Become an Aqua Pro and save money on every order, get free samples, and have full access to our unmatched customer service. Easy to remember, hard to forget. Visit AquaBluMosaics.com.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast. Today, we're going to be chatting with Vito Mariano, president of Basecrete Technologies, along with Christopher Gates, managing director for On Deck, a new product launch for Basecrete. Pleasure to have you with us today on the show, guys.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yep. Thank you, Joel. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, before we get started, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about the On Deck Basecrete decking system in a minute. But maybe you could give us a little bit of an introduction, Christopher, as to your bio and background in the pool industry before we get started.
Well, I think Vito and I go way back to in the very beginnings when there was the three pigs and the inception of the Genesis 3 whole effort. I was involved way back then with that whole thing and was one of the original, I guess, probably gold members when we used to have gold members. So I've been paying attention to high-end pool construction and best practices for a lot of years, and it was actually as Skip Phillips actually referred me to Vito directly, and that's kind of how we touched base with each other. And Basecrete was just was it even on the market officially at that point, Vito, or you were just coming out with it?
Yeah, I had other products on the market and then wanted to launch this one, knowing that there was a future need for it. Well, we nailed that one.
So we built some nice pools. We worked with some nice products and represented a few just real boutique but specialized products over the years. And then we were fortunate enough to have 6 pools in Luxury Pool Magazine, and we used to focus on that sort of thing. Now this is just a real revolutionary product, and I kind of basically told Vito if he ever loved me at all, he had to let me in on this product.
Yeah, well, I do love you, so we're good there. We're good.
That's great.
Well, the Basecrete product has been tremendous in the pool industry, and I know it's been widely received. So this new On Deck product, let's get into that.
Great. It's a Basecrete decking system, and it's very, very simple. So there's probably that's the number one attribute. Well, it's waterproof for one, and it's waterproof on the science of Basecrete. So it's tried and true. And then the actual process is super simple. It can go horizontal and it can go vertical, and it can be textured as the installer wants it to be textured. So it could be heavy texture, light texture, it can be rolled on, it can be shot on, it can be troweled on, but it's waterproofing and on the same science as Basecrete. Another magical thing about it is that you can take a new project and marry it to an old project. You can build up an old existing deck that's chipped and broken. You can clean it out and you can build up to 2-inch lifts using our material to build that up to seamlessly the same elevation as the new concrete, and then you coat the whole thing with On Deck, and it all is just beautiful and elegant. And that all happens out of one bag and one bucket of polymer. So it's a lot of products are kind of contrived. Other brands, you have to buy a bag of this for horizontal and a bag of that for vertical and a bag of that for waterproofing, and ours is just real simple. Then we put on the on top the last coating, and that's a pigmented stain and sealer, and that's in 7 different colors. And we also offer it in a light base and a dark base, so you can tint a custom color if you have if you're doing a whole stadium, for example, and you want to do the whole stadium to the colors of the team. You can get your own color mixed with a light or dark base, and of course there's white. Did I miss anything?
I know those color options are a huge issue with decking products. The customers love variations. And, Vito, On Deck is going to be going head to head with some existing players in that space. I mean, what's your guys' strategy for taking some of that market share moving into 23?
Well, I can answer that one. Price per square foot, number one, it's not an expensive system. It's a fast system. It's a waterproofing decking system at the same time. So you get all these new benefits that the industry is not used to. Instead of just your typical low-end cementitious spray, roll on, knock it down, stain it or paint it with epoxy or latex-based material. So we're staying focused on simplicity We're staying focused on waterproofing capability, which it has, and price. And that's very important out there.
Yeah, and speaking about the strength and technology in this decking product, one of the issues that I talked with you about before was, obviously last year we discussed the collapse of the Champlain Towers and the potential failures of the waterproofing product used in the deck area. Since then, a whole new set of standards of elevated decks and elevated pools have emerged, and it continued to evolve to this day. I mean, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that and how On Deck has worked to meet those new standards, Vito.
And that's a very good point, by the way, Joe. So what's important is, I think, the heads of the pool industry that regulates it, looking at putting some mandates together to change the laws, starting in the state of Florida, that every suspended deck has to be waterproofed. And that was the reason for me 6 months ago to really start putting this together finally, because I think the industry is going to push it that way. It's inevitable that we have to have something on the market. I figured, well, I already have waterproof products. I've been producing it for many years. My On Deck recipe goes back probably 32 years now. And I've used it over the years for certain things, usually for my own application. And I just never really had the time for it because I'm just so busy always growing other products. And I thought, now's the time to do it. So when we bumped in to Christopher one day, we thought, well, Christopher would be ideal for this. He's got an edge in the industry, knows the industry, has a great speaking voice, and he gets it. So when I thought, I went to bed one night and I was thinking, I don't know why I was thinking about Christopher. I was trying to close my eyes. I have no idea, but my brain's always business. And I thought this would be perfect. I called Christopher. He came down right away. And, we immediately started jumping on it, and we worked out a great deal to get this industry. And we've put out some light social media, and we're getting a tremendous response from it.
So let's rewind this a little bit. Not a new product necessarily. You've had this in the hopper for quite a while, but now you're bringing on Christopher to help propel this in the market as a new product called On Deck that you plan to release to the entire industry.
Yes, and the reason why this happened is, if I can mention, I work a lot with Sherwin-Williams, for instance, and there was a job that was problematic in Tampa. I met a gentleman on site that was dealing with another product that had a major disaster, to the point where I really felt bad for the company. And I was working out a deal with Sherwin-Williams, and we went in and we did 30,000 square feet with this product in order to rehabilitate the disaster that was already there. A couple months after that, I got a phone call from the gentleman that did the contract and wanted to thank me for helping him. I didn't lose, I think it was $100,000 loss. He recuperated it. And he said, I would really like to sit down with you. And can I meet you? I said, yeah. I said, when? He goes, well, but I'll come over right now. That's how anxious he was. I said, listen, I've got time this afternoon. Anyways, he drove from Tampa. He sat down with me. He goes, where the hell has this product been? I go, why? He said, I've used every product in the last 35 years. I've never seen anything this good before. I said, well, thank you. And that's how this whole thing really kind of started. And he's been using it ever since. He called me this morning. He's got 60 driveways in Tampa he's doing. He's totally converted all of his business to the On Deck system, which he helped me put the methods to the point where he's going to be part of my training team when we're going to be training people when we license them to get a dealer in the On Deck decking system.
Sure. I mean, one of the biggest gripes you hear from the contractors is always, when they're embracing a new product, it's like, what's the learning curve? How easy is it to install? What's the support going to be like? What's the application process like? Maybe you could talk a little bit more to that.
Well, we started doing with some of our pool and deck projects many years ago. We started doing some polymer overlays and acrylic top coats and different stuff. And you're right, every one of them was kind of beat to its own drummer, and you had to figure each system out, and you tried to stick with one that you could use if you knew the idiosyncrasies of the given system. And that's exactly what got me excited when Vito started telling me that it's the same bag to make the stuff that goes on the flat deck, that goes up the walls, that waterproofs the corners, just different mixing styles. And so that, coupled with this fellow Vito's talking about doing all the training for our all-star team members that are coming on board with On Deck, it's a no-brainer. First of all, I feel like anybody who's done any kind of similar applications could learn over the phone because it's so simple. And then, of course, like Vito's saying, people, twist their arms to fly down to Tampa and get some live training and get it certified. And then they have a huge warranty also. So it's the simplest system I've ever come across. And that's speaking from, doing many systems with my own two hands probably 20 plus years ago, started doing some on deck surfacing systems.
Who are your brand ambassadors going to be that are going to be helping you propel this in the market? I know on the tile side, you've been working closely with Mosaics quite a bit, but I mean, who are some of the folks you guys got in mind for collaborating with on the on deck side?
Well, right now we're really been working with engineers and architects and people specifying for these real world needs of the waterproofing. You guys were talking about Florida, but also California now, every outdoor porch or balcony has to be waterproofed in all their residential situations and everything. So I don't know that we picked out an ambassador per se, like a Jimmy Reed for waterproofing or something like that. But all the guys that respect Basecrete are going to be ambassadors effectively because they know how great it is. And then this decking system takes that another step forward. So we kind of feel like the same people are going to be advocates for it. Don't you think, Vito?
Yeah. There's like Jose Garcia from Barefoot Pools in Arizona.
Right.
I'm chomping at the bit to get this. Height does phenomenal Basecrete applications. Has done hundreds of pools. Those are the kind of companies and applicators we're going to go for. That when we go to bed at night, we know that they're doing their job, and there's going to be no complaints or very little complaints. So we're gonna, we'll handpick the right people to do the applications. I've already calculated 1,200 dealers in the next 5 years.
Oh, that's tremendous.
And then of course we'll be doing seminars and all that stuff. If we're continue to be welcome, which I'm sure we will with Dave Peterson and those guys at Watershape U and that sort of stuff. It's all going the same direction towards building better projects outdoors.
Definitely. I mean, what are some of the challenges you guys are facing in launching a new product in this post-COVID climate that we're facing? I mean, you've seen some of the same market conditions that we're looking at, and there's an overall feeling that we may see a substantial drop in pool sales moving into 23. Do you see any of that trickling down into Basecrete and on deck? And if so, what are your plans to maneuver moving forward in this market?
Man, I think that's a very good point. I think sales are probably going to slow down in the pool industry. We're going to pick up a larger market share. I think in our pool division alone, we're doing well over 1,000 waterproofing pools every month. And as we continue to grow, the sales, the pool industry will drop, but our growth will still continue because we're picking up a larger percentage of that industry. Plus, we have other products we have in the market for decking, parking, garages, restoration. So we deal with a lot of engineers. Again, Sherwin-Williams, they have 4,800 stores, distribution. There's a lot of growth coming our way. Even though the industry is going to slow down a bit, we're still going to expand because the products that we manufacture are so high end and easy to apply that as the industry slows down, we'll be picking up more market share. And that's why we just got into our new warehouse, which is 5 times the size for the last one. Hopefully we're good here for 5 years before we outgrow this one.
Well, maybe you could talk to us a little bit about the new facility, Vito.
Yeah, so thank you. We picked up a warehouse that we started building a year ago. We're going to go a lot more automated. I have an incredible team that manages the back shipping and warehouse and manufacturing. IAMPO approved. And we're going automated. It's an expensive process, but we want to be able to really supply consistent products on the market. And we have a 1 acre empty lot in the back, so we can continue to grow and have a lot more storage. The biggest problem that we've had to deal with was, of course, the shortages of the raw material. And because of where we bring in our liquids, we were still on top of the game, which really helped us expand our sales because everybody was dealing with shortages. We were flourishing because everybody found out that we had a lot of stock. We have a large warehouse that can maintain that. And as of now, we're also blending in France. We're blending in Italy. At the end of April, we'll be blending and manufacturing in Lisbon and in Portugal. We have toll blenders in Virginia all the way to California. So we're well spread. And I'm also working in Canada, probably in the next 6 months, to have a blending facility there, so we can really supply, especially with the gas prices. Shipping material across the world is very expensive today.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's not projected to drop anytime soon, given the current situation in the Ukraine. What are your plans in propelling the product in the market, you know, till then? And, you know, what's a great point of contact for people to learn more about this new product?
Well, we're on a little bit of a different schedule from the outdoor space and hardscape convention circuit. So we're going to actually be kind of busy through this pool building season with that sort of thing. There's a kind of with the exception of the Vegas show, which incorporates decking, there's several other independent decking and hardscape shows that we're plugged into. And we have our website up and with a place card on it now that people can stay in touch with us, keep in the loop, and discuss if they want to make some orders or learn some more things about the product now. And that is ondeckwaterproofing.com. ondeckwaterproofing.com. And that is the website is not live, but the placeholder is live with a form on it for people to contact us, and that has phone numbers and emails on it as well.
Okay, terrific. And can they get with you on Facebook, Instagram? I mean, what's your favorite point of contact where people can get a hold of you?
Well, right now we're just building that stuff. That'll be coming up in April. That we've been going hard to the point that we're at today, and we still have a lot of building to do. So by the end of April, we'll have all those social media sites up, but we don't have them up now. People always have fun looking at Basecrete USA and staying in touch that way, but it's going to be a whole different platform for us, but they're not running yet.
Okay. Because
that'd be great. We'll be shooting for On Deck Waterproofing on all the media.
Yeah.
And we're using Pool Magazine quite a bit because it's the #1 magazine out there in order to get our material across. And by the way, Joe, you're doing a fantastic job out there in the Pool Magazine. It's the hottest thing in the market, and I love what you do.
Thank you so much, Vito. We appreciate that. I definitely love seeing you guys at all the shows. I mean, your presence in the pool industry is tremendous, and it's always good to catch up with you whenever we can, man. It's great.
Yeah, Wednesday we'll have some cocktails and relax and not talk any business. That would be a nice change.
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice meeting you too, Christopher. It's great you're going to be working closely with Vito on the On Deck side.
That's great. I'm looking forward to seeing you face to face too, and we appreciate your interest. It's really, this is the official first kickoff, I guess, on Vito is right here on Pool Magazine Radio, I guess you could call it.
Well, thanks so much for being with us today on the show, guys. I appreciate you spending the time with us.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Get everything you need for your next job without the hassle at AquaBluMosaics.com. We carry everything from high-quality pool tile, porcelain pavers, grout, fire and water features, and everything in between that you need to get your project done and put some money in your pocket. A literal showroom in the palm of your hand, we are the most powerful tool any pool contractor can have in their pocket. Become an Aqua Pro and save money on every order, get free samples, and have full access to our unmatched customer service. Easy to remember, hard to forget. Visit AquaBluMosaics.com.